All right. Okay. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Murka Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, this is some information that my brother sent me, and I started taking a look into it. Um, so as you can see in the title, breaking: Did Israel just launch attacks on Iran? And this happened last night. Um, I'm going to read this article in here, get some information on here. There's still some more information coming out on this. What is known is that, as it says here, small drones attacked a military site in Iran. And there are a lot of Twitter posts, which I'll scroll through a few of them. Some saying, that Israel was behind it, and so on and so forth. Now, I also have another article here, which is interesting because this, as you can see, says U.S. Israel conclude largest ever joint military exercise aimed at Iran, and they just finished this Saturday or Friday or whatnot, but that's when this article came out. So um, yeah, let's see what this is saying here. Okay, so the article reads, this is from Iran Intel, and I guess in Iran International .com. So it says here, reports or Iran says small drones attacked its military site. Report Reports and videos from Iran speak of multiple explosions and a fire at an ammunition factory in the Iranian city of Esfahan, if I'm saying that right, shortly after midnight local time. Following multiple reports by eyewitnesses after midnight, January 29th, that an ammunition factory in Esfahan was hit by explosions and fire. All right, it says Iran's defense ministry announced that small drones attacked the complex and called the attack unsuccessful. It claimed all the drones were shot down without saying if the attack came from inside the country or from outside. Now, as we go through the Twitter posts, you'll see. All right, this is even one of them. You'll see the explosions and stuff. Now, I don't know what's been going on with the StreamYard whenever I stream, but for some reason it doesn't capture the audio. But that's okay. They're short clips, and the video should do it. I've also linked this article in the description box so you can see it there. But as you can see, it says breaking: several Isfahan citizens told at Iran Intel uh, they have heard at least 3 or 4 explosions. Meanwhile, Telegram channels affiliated to the IRGC are sharing this video with the caption, "The moment a drone hits the Iran Defense Ministry ammunition facility." All right, so let's take a look. I'm not sure why I just went dark. All right, let me maybe keep it. Okay, hold on one second. Let's try this again. And if not, we'll just look at it when we scroll through the Twitter feed. So the quality is not good. No. So yeah, I don't know why. I mean, they said it was unsuccessful, but I mean, like I said, there's more information to come out on this. So let's see. So it says the small drones have a very short flying time, and if these were used against the ammunition factory, which they were upset, the U.S. and Israel and all of them about Iran supplying drones to Russia. Okay, so that also might be a factor in here as well. Um, right. So it says they must have been launched from a close distance. that does not necessarily eliminate the possibility of a foreign country being behind the attack, but it would certainly prove some people in Iran carried it out. The explosion took place in one of the munitions manufacturing centers of the Defense Ministry, and according to an announcement by the deputy Esfahan governor for security, there were no casualties. However, eyewitnesses, but an attack is still an attack. All right, and the tensions between, if indeed it was Israel or a NATO ally behind this here, that raises tensions a lot, because tensions are already high between Iran and Israel, and really Iran and NATO as well. And Russia, as we know, according to prophecy, according to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, is going to be a guard onto certain nations, and one of those nations in there is Iran, the Persians. Okay, so let's see. It says, where are we at? The Yeah, the explosion took place in one of the munitions manufacturing centers of the defense ministry, and according to an announcement by the deputy, there were no casualties. However, eyewitnesses report and videos show the actual explosions at the factory. Some Twitter users say that the Esfahan factory was manufacturing warheads for the Shahed kamikaze drone that Iran is supplying Russia for attacks in Ukraine. The official Mohammed Reza Janissar told state television the damages are being investigated, as well as the causes and elements that caused this explosion, and will be announced later. So we're going to wait to hear, some more news concerning that. According to some reports, air defenses of Iran's traditional army and the IRGC, which a lot of these countries are moving to, some have already, but moving to declare the IRGC as a terrorist organization anyway. But it says have been put on high alert. There were also reports on social media of explosions and smoke in northwest of the capital Tehran. These reports have not been verified. Also, a large blaze engulfed an industrial area near the city of Tabriz, northwest Iran. So you having explosions, you're having fires, and all of these things in different parts of Iran. Certain areas, people are claiming to see drones flying. All right. So you had a lot of information that's coming out. All right. Well, right now, some people are speculating that it was Israel, but they don't seem to have put out any official confirmatory news as to who was behind the attack. And that's why I put the question mark in the title too. But it says here, where we at? The government said that fire started as a refinery producing motor oil, but the cause of the devastating blaze remains unclear. A social media post by a group of protesters in the southwestern Khuzestan province reports an explosion in Desvol. Another report says there were air raid sightings in Hamadan's Nozer air base, but these remain unverified, similar to reports from Tehran and elsewhere. So that's pretty much the update that they had from this article here. Like I said, it's in the description box. You can see it there. But you also had a lot of Twitter. When you type in Iran, you had a lot of Twitter posts concerning things here. People posting videos and clips and so on and so forth. See if I can see some here. Yeah, a lot of these are showing the different parts that were on fire. All right, it says oil refineries. Okay, that's disappeared. All right, 55 minutes ago. This is the headquarters of the IRGC, Special Force Base Quds, which came under missile strike. Multiple places in #Iran have been reported to be under missile strike. Once again, they haven't confirmed whether this is the case or not, but for all we know, this could be somebody playing a video of a place being set on fire and then putting that caption, or it could actually be that. We have to wait and see what other information comes out. But the point is that tensions are so high that, say it does come out that Israel was behind these attacks, that can really, really, really escalate things very, very quickly. All right, according to prophecy as well, because eventually that the whatever goes on between Iran and Israel is going to drag in most definitely U.S. And when U.S. and is involved, NATO is involved, and is also going to drag in Russia. Okay, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it this whole thing just merges into one, where you have war the war going on with Iran and Israel and Russia and Ukraine and all that just merges into one. All right, but hey, as we know, according to prophecy, the Russia is going to be on the side of Iran along with these other a few other nations, Turkey as well. Okay, so we have to keep our eyes open on that as well. It says here, Iran during the evening, they already report 4 explosions. Locals say that it was an UAV attack. One of the strikes hit a plant that produces ammunition for the Iranian Defense Ministry. The second hit an oil refinery. So now you got to think about it, right? Who would be interested in attacking a plant that produces ammunition for the IDF or IDM, the Iranian Defense Ministry? And then, not interestingly enough, you had the U.S. had their take on how they feel about Iran supplying drones to Russia, right? So it reads, continuing whatever what else we got here. Let's see if we got some more. All right, it says this is from Amakai Steen, the New York Times. The drones that targeted sites in Isfahan are believed to have been launched from inside Iran. Breaking the Saudi, this is 14 minutes ago, this is an hour ago. Breaking the Saudi Al Hadath channel reports that the attack tonight in Isfahan province, Iran, was an operation by the US and another country other than Israel, and it was aimed at an Iranian ballistic missile depot. That's also some interesting news right there. Okay, like I said, there's an article here that goes into it, which we'll take a look as well. Which is the U.S. and Israel concluded their largest ever joint military exercise aimed at Iran. Why? Why would they have that? What's the need to have a joint military exercise against them, especially at this time? So things are picking up. You have the prophecy of the MOTB getting closer and closer and closer, and at the same time, you have the Lord stirring things up in the east. Okay, and the more tensions, right? Look, if war breaks out in the east, that's not just something. Oh well, that's just over there in the east. No, that's going to affect a lot of things: oil, gas, all of these things. And the war there is not going to stay there. It's not going to just be amongst them. It's going to be like a vortex that is going to suck in all these nations, and then things can escalate very quickly. All right, but let's see. It says here Iranian anti-aircraft defense nightmare. Oh, sorry, nighttime. Defense is nighttime as smoke rises from explosion in Tehran. Who claims it repelled a drone attacks who targeted several military production sites last night in Iran. So then you got to ask, well, if you successfully repelled drone attacks, then that means somebody was trying to attack in the first place. So now they're trying to find out, well, who was it that was behind this attack? Some people say the U.S., as we just saw here, with another country other than Israel. Some say it was launched by Israel. So a lot of speculation, but just bringing it out. All right, it says here oil depots across Iran are becoming smoke and ashes after Israeli lead a major attack on the terrorist government of Tehran. See? So you have some people saying that there as well. This is a video of the explosion. As you can see, it's hashtag Israel launched a special military operation inside Iran. And the reason I call it speculation as well is because, I mean, we still have to wait for more official news to come out, but really anybody can just post a clip and then put a certain caption on there. You can't just take that right at face value. It's something to keep in mind, but we still got to keep looking. It says strikes on Iranian territory, missile and drone factories at 5 different locations. You can see some here, 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 here. So these are all different. So this had to be coordinated if indeed it is, um, if indeed it was. See what else we have. Anything else? All right, this is 21 minutes ago. This is 1 hour ago. Yep, we read this. Um, Drone attack on Iranian weapons factory was phenomenal success. Or yeah, all right. Let's see. It says despite Iranian claims, the drone attack on Iran at Isfahan was a tremendous success. Huh. According to a mix of Western intelligence sources and foreign sources, the Jerusalem Post has learned. Success, huh? Okay. That doesn't sound like talks from Iranian supporter or an Iranian side. Let's see. What else do we have? Yep. At Isfahan, hashtag Iran kamikaze or suicide drones attacked a factory that makes ammo and drones. Explosions have been reported across the country. So as you keep going, it keeps going on and on. Um, yeah, it just keeps going on and on and on. People have different posts here, so on and so forth. You can all see them here. Iran is under missile attack 49 minutes ago. They say here that Prime Minister Netanyahu has announced about his decision to attack terrorist organizations in Iran. Iran will definitely respond. The stability of the Middle East will go for a toss, and the first casualty will be oil prices. Okay, so there you go. All right, there's some more information for you. You can take some of that. All right, cool. So now let's take a look at this next article. Read a little bit of it. I don't think it's a really long. Yeah, it's not a long article at all. But this was from Zero Hedge. Now it's funny. I saw this yesterday, but the Spur didn't allow it to come out. But now it's coming out today. So it says, watch U.S. Israel conclude largest ever joint military exercise aimed at Iran. The U.S. and Israel on Thursday announced the conclusion of their largest ever joint military exercise, known as Juniper Oak 23. The drills were launched Monday and involved over 140 aircraft and nearly 8,000 troops from both militaries. The massive show of force was clearly a provocation toward Iran, despite claims from U.S. officials that it wasn't aimed at any one country. It goes on. U.S. Central Command and Israel Defense Forces concluded Juniper Oak 23.2, the largest U.S. Israel partnered exercise in history. The U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, said in a press release. CENTCOM said the drills included a live fire exercise that involved B-52s, F-35s, F-15s, F-16s, all of those numbers listed over there, naval assets, high mobility rocket artillery systems, multiple launch rocket systems, a mix of fighter jets, and long range bombers. So they're not playing. Besides sending a message to Iran, the massive exercise demonstrates that the U.S. has Israel's back in the region, despite Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government, which has pledged to expand settlements in the West Bank and eventually annex the territory. So at least you understand if anything goes down, what side the U.S. is on, and not just what side they're on, but how quickly they're going to jump in. All right, and back Israel. So as you let's play this real quick. Like I said, there might not be any audio. I can't really tell right now because of I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but it's okay. We can just take a look at the video. Now, when I'm gonna take this back just a little bit, right? But take a look at take a look at this. This There you go. So when you see these missiles being launched from those silos, these are scenes that the prophets saw. Okay, when you read different scriptures and they describe what they were seeing, these are, for example, let's take the book of Joel, right? Joel speaks about how when he speaks about the missiles, he talks about how a flame burneth behind them. I believe it was in the book of Joel, right? Well, imagine being in the ancient world, not knowing of the terms missiles or anything of that sort, and you see something like this. You see all the smoke, and you see this right here. This clearly is a flame burning behind whatever device this is. And there's some missiles that when they shoot forth, you see this smoke right here, it's like a trail, right? And there's some missiles that move, and they don't just move in a straight line. They move in a squiggly like fashion, which can make the give the perception of a snake or a serpent. How a snake moves around when it's in the on the ground trying to move fast, but in the sky. So sometimes you had the prophets see it and refer to it as a fiery, flying serpent. Okay, which is a snake. But really, they were describing the missiles that they saw. So they would see the scenes like this, and then scenes of the destruction and scenes of the destruction and all of that, and then they would describe it the best way they could. So let's see now right there. You also have the silo, and then the missile coming out, and it does resemble like an arrow coming from a bow, because number one, usually when you see archers shooting their arrows from their bows, like I've explained before, it's at an angle, right? They don't shoot it straight up, straight forward. Who the hell are you gonna hit shooting that straight forward? No, usually their targets are far. So what you'll see is the archers aim at a diagonal angle going upward, a certain trajectory, and then they will launch all of their arrows at once. Sometimes their arrows, there's certain techniques they will use where they will light the arrows on fire, and then they will launch them into the air. So this also can give the perception of a arrow being shot from a bow. Juniper oak. That's very interesting. You got Israel on the right side, you got the US on the left right there. So very interesting stuff they got going on. And when this thing pops off, man, it's gonna be a serious deal. It's not gonna be a joke. Those missiles are loud, powerful, and dangerous. It's gonna be serious, man. It's gonna be serious, and people are not gonna want to play games at that point. Just you watch. So it says Netanyahu's new government is also full of Iran hawks, including his national security advisor. And I hope that this is real. I hope this was by Israel that was behind this, and that they're the ones who actually did target and bomb these different places. And I hope Iran retaliates and it escalates. And I know that according to prophecy, this ain't gonna turn into the full-on nuclear destruction just yet, because you still got to have the MOTB come out. But if this does escalate in this fashion, that only means that the MOTB is that much closer. All right. So it says here, Netanyahu's, yep, read that part. It says Zachi Hanagbi, before the new government was formed, Hanabi threatened that Netanyahu would attack Iran if the U.S. doesn't negotiate a stricter nuclear deal or take military action itself. Both the U.S. and Israel have been threatening military action against Iran to prevent it from acquiring a nuclear weapon. But the Pentagon has acknowledged in its recent nuclear posture review that Iran is not trying to build a nuclear bomb. and yet it's still after them. Why? Because it's all prophecy. The scriptures talk about how Proverbs, what's that, 20, 21 and 1. Lord willing, we'll get that after. But the thoughts of these rulers is all controlled by the Lord. So it doesn't matter what they come out and say. The Lord could easily put it into their mind to say, well, now you're going to turn around and you're going to do this. So I'm going to play this with this one video here as well. But as you can see, Juniper Oak came after Israel's former army chief visited Washington, D.C. in November and said upon his return that the two countries would expand joint military cooperation. So let's take a look at this video as well. Uh, well, this I don't think there's audio on this. Yeah, there is no audio on that. So let me just throw this article in the chat. Here it is. And if I remember, I'll post it in the description box after this, and you can have access to it there. But yeah, man, this is what's going on. There claims that Israel was behind it, claims that the U.S. was behind it, claims that they don't know who was behind it. But nonetheless, what we do know is that there were attacks in Iran. Drones were involved. Iran claims to have foiled it, but a lot of different information is up in the air right now. So we got to watch and see. Yeah, this is Pillars of Benjamin, Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And ultimately, what is the Lord's ultimate sword that's going to be bathed in heaven is those missiles. Okay, and they're going to come down and make these scenes like this are going to look like I don't know, like a walk in a park, because the nuclear destruction is going to be very destructive. All right, and very nuclear at that. Now, I had mentioned this, so I'm going to bring this out real quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1. Because keep in mind, there's one thing for them to say one thing. Oh, we're not going to do this. We don't have plans of doing this. But their actions are determined by what the Lord wants. This is how we know that everything that is written in the book of prophecy in the scriptures is going to happen, even if they come out and blatantly tell you, hey, we don't have any plans of doing such and such, because they're going to do what the Lord has said they're going to do. And that's it. This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart, meaning the king's mind, is in the hand of the Lord. So the Lord has control over it. And how does he control their minds? Via the angels. He actually sends angels to work on their minds, to put different thoughts and influences on them. It says, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So what the Most High wants the Netanyahu to do, Biden, all these individuals, he puts a certain spirit on them to say, yo, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. Even the plans these elites come up with and how they execute it, the Most High is behind it all. So it's only a matter of time, but that time is very short, and it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And soon it's not going to be, oh, they're about to do this, or, oh, we think that they've done this. It'll be very apparent to everybody what is going on. Yep, this is Isaiah 14:21, Pillars of Benjamin. I will also make it a possession for the bittern, the pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. Yeah, and that's ultimately what's going to take place, when the destruction hits. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. Came across that information, and I thought that I would put it out there so at least, brothers and sisters are aware of what's happening over there. And let's watch and see what else the Lord has in store for this place. We're only in January, so Lord willing, within the next 11 months, a whole lot of these major prophecies can pop off. And yeah, let's pray for fewer days, man. But anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash. And until next time, Shalom.